William Carter sat quietly at Sam's Diner, a cozy roadside spot known for its classic cheeseburgers and friendly service. He was in his late 40s, well over 6 feet tall, and weighed around 250 pounds. His dark skin and closely cropped hair framed a face marked by both laughter and hardship. Despite his imposing stature, William was soft-spoken, someone who preferred observing over talking. People often judged him by his size or the color of his skin, rarely suspecting the calm strength he carried within. That evening, William was enjoying his favorite bacon cheeseburger with a side of fries, content to mind his own business at a corner booth. The diner wasn't busy, just a few regulars chatting in low voices, and the comforting scent of sizzling bacon and fresh brewed coffee filled the air. Suddenly, the door burst open. In swaggered 4 young men, loud and brimming with confidence. Their leader, Troy, was wiry and wore a leather jacket. Behind him trailed Brent, a bulky guy with a scowl, Cole, who had a sarcastic gleam in his eye, and Jordan, who looked younger and less certain of himself. They scanned the diner until Troy's gaze landed on William. With a smirk, he said loudly, "Looks like we got ourselves a real big fella here." The rest of the group laughed, drawing uneasy looks from the other customers. William didn't react. He simply took another bite of his burger and chewed slowly. Unwilling to leave it at that, Troy sauntered over to William's table, leaning in. "Hey, big guy, don't you think you've had enough? Save some food for the rest of us." William lifted his eyes, calm and steady. "I'm just here to eat, same as you," he replied. Troy clearly didn't appreciate this simple answer. "Eat? Looks like you've had enough for a week," he sneered, prompting another round of laughter from his friends. The tension in the diner thickened. Jenny, the young waitress behind the counter, peeked out nervously. "Leave him alone," she said, her voice trembling. Troy turned, his smirk widening. "Oh, we're just having some fun, aren't we, big guy?" William set down his burger and wiped his hands with a paper napkin. His dark eyes remained calm. "You've had your fun. Now leave me be." But Troy wasn't one to back down. He leaned in, his tone turning menacing. "Or what?" William took a measured breath, resting his hands on the table. "Son, you don't want to do this." Troy let out a laugh, though there was a flicker of doubt in his eyes. "What's a fat old man like you gonna do, sit on me?" At that, William's composure shifted ever so slightly. His voice was low but firm. "I've seen things that would keep you awake at night. Walk away while you can." Silence settled over the diner. Even Brent, Cole, and Jordan seemed uncertain. Jordan, in particular, looked like he wanted to leave but didn't want to look weak. "Let's see what you've got," Troy challenged, shoving William's shoulder. William stood up slowly, towering over Troy. His height and build were intimidating enough, but his presence was what truly froze everyone in place. He didn't raise his voice or throw a punch. Instead, he calmly removed his jacket, revealing a tattoo on his forearm, the emblem of the United States Marine Corps. "I served my country for 20 years, William said quietly. "I fought for your freedom, and I'm not about to let you take mine." Before Troy could snap back, the diner door opened again. In walked Officer West, a local cop and a friend of William's. He immediately assessed the situation. "What's going on here?" he asked, resting a hand on his belt. Troy looked ready to protest, but William spoke first. "These boys were just leaving," he said, his tone calm. Officer West glanced between William and the 4 men. "Is that so?" Unable to handle the pressure, Jordan blurted out, "It was Troy's idea. We didn't mean anything by it." Troy whirled around. "Shut up, Jordan." But the damage was done. Officer West stepped forward. "I think it's time you all headed out," he said firmly. With that, the group slinked away. William eased back into his seat, his demeanor returning to its usual calm. Jenny approached with a fresh plate of fries, her hands still unsteady. "Thank you," she whispered. William nodded, though inside he felt a familiar weariness. He wasn't angry, just tired of battles that should have ended long ago. Later that night, Troy found he couldn't sleep. Something about William's words nagged at him. He started reading up on the Marines, trying to understand their sacrifices. Over time, he began to grasp the gravity of what he'd done. A few months later, Troy returned to the diner alone. He approached William, who was in his usual booth. "I just wanted to say I'm sorry," Troy muttered, barely meeting William's gaze. William studied him for a moment, then nodded. "Takes a man to admit when he's wrong." Troy left the diner a bit wiser, while William went back to his meal, quietly hoping that the world might change one person at a time. This story of William Carter and the group at Sam's Diner reminds us of a powerful truth: judging someone based on appearance, be it size, race, or any other surface trait, often blinds us to their real depth and strength. William, a gentle man with a resolute core, had served his country as a Marine, fighting for freedom, justice, and dignity for all, even for those who judged him unfairly. Thank you for reading. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, and let me know where you're tuning in from. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe for more uplifting stories, tips, and insights. Take care, and I'll see you next time.